What's up, everybody? It's Michael at FOUCH FABS again. It is Saturday at about 10 after 12. We are at an install today, and Saturday installs are rare for us. We normally don't do it. Normally Saturdays are mine and my wife's catch-up day at the shop, and but we got a little behind this week. I'll tell you on the members channel kind of what happened, but anyway. Finally, I'm in a good mood. This job should go fairly well. The cabinets look like they're in really good shape. The customer's very nice. The entrance is money. I couldn't ask for a better entrance to get in here. So, Lord willing, everything's going to rock and roll just like it should. So, I had the template laid out on the island. It works just fine. I don't remember if I did a video or a short on this one, but we had two slabs. I could have got the whole job out of one slab. But if you guys watch my videos, you know I try to cut the tops as big as possible so that it looks the best for the customer. I just don't. If I can prevent a customer having a seam, I will do it. So we went ahead and cut this sink run in one piece also. Of course, I would never cut an island with a seam in it if I can fit it on the slab, because you have two profile edges that you have to polish, and it's got to be exactly cut perfect and all that. So the only real obstacle I foresee in this job is the bump out right here in the cabinet. So for those of you that don't know or don't install, anytime you have a bump out like that, you want to check the sides of the cabinet and see if you can find the screw holes that connect this part of the cabinet to this part. This one looks like it's on the back side of the drawers. So here in a minute, I'll get to that and I'll show you if they're there. And then what we'll do is we'll pop a couple of shims right here in the seam, and that's going to pull that apart. You know, we'll try to give ourselves a ½ inch or so, because, you know, we don't want to scratch up the cabinet and all that. Worst case scenario, we'll go over here to this side of the wall. We'll cut into the drywall, and that'll give us the space we need, because they're going to put tile on this afterwards, and of course you'll never see it. We have covered up the floor as usual, and I'm going to show you the entranceway, how nice it is. So as you see, we got what, a 2.5, 3 inch step down here. Walk out, we got a big garage, and then bam, truck's right there. You cannot beat that with a stick. I can actually back up a little further, which I might do that. Anyways, keep your fingers crossed, pray for us that everything goes perfect. Alright guys, so the screws were inside the drawer here. Square head, I went ahead and already pulled them out. So you can see just by loosening the screws how much more room it gave us. So we're just going to take a couple of shims and put it in there. Any job you do, you want to make sure that you protect the homeowner's property. So you want to take all the steps you can not to do any damage. And this is just a step you can take. So, you see that? Now we got a good, I don't know, ½ 3/4 of an inch. You don't want to pry so hard that you break anything, but you just want this bump out here to be able to slide by without scratching the cabinets, damaging the material, you know. Just be smart. David, will you film me? So, this is the reason you bring templates, you know. If you got your template, you'll know exactly how far you need to pull that out. So you can just check, make sure you'll be able to totally slide your template out. And if you can, you know, your top's going to go in. It's a lot easier to handle this template to see if it fits, rather than to manhandle a heavy, awkward top and see if it fits. Then have to pull it back off, go back over here, put more shims. You know, it's just a smart way to do it. Alright, just like always, we put our support bar on here. Now we're going to take this in there. This quartz is so light, it's lighter than normal. I'm going to see when I get to the shop if I can find a piece, a scrap piece, and cut it 12 by 12 so I can find out how much it weighs per square foot. Okay guys, we've got all the tops in place, and I'm just amazed at how good it makes everything look in here. You guys know I do installs all the time, and once we got these tops set down in here, it just made a huge difference.
You said the fourth door?
Third.
So we're gonna go ahead and keep moving forward. I'm gonna mount the sink, pull this cabinet back together, get the island squared up, let David start caulking it out, and then we'll get them clean and put the stain protector on it. And I'll show you guys my process on the cleaning, because it has changed recently. And that's about it, brother. My customers.
That looks great.
So guys, I just asked the homeowner who did their cabinets, because I want to let everybody know who he is. If you live in this area, I highly recommend him. If you look underneath, man, I might be able to get a slither of a shim somewhere. These cabinets are so nice. He did an excellent job. And then, you know, you put your 6 foot level on here, you know, because you still want to make sure that it's level. It might fit on the cabinets perfect, but it might be out of level. This one is dead center. This guy did a good job. You don't know how many homes that I go to, and the cabinets are an inch. I've had them 1 3/4 inches out of level in, you know, like a 10-foot run, and their excuse is that the floor's out of level. And I'm always like, well, by that logic, can I just leave my seams out of level and my counter's just all messed up and blame it on the floor? Hell, if we're going to do that, let's just blame it on the soil outside, you know? It's ridiculous, but this guy did a great job. Hey guys, I've got the sink pulled up, and I've got, of course, I put our bead of silicone. You always want to have a solid bead all the way around the sink before you pull it up. That's going to be your number one means of holding that sink up here tight, okay? I'm going to flip the camera around. Is these clips. So we drill the holes prior to coming out, and then I put 2 on each side. And something I always tell my guys is we need to put something in the front. If for any reason the silicone fails, you will get a sag right here. But if you put something in here, you won't get that. So we got these U-mounts, you know, that way if you can't get the clips in there, all you got to do is cut one to size, pop it in here, and you're golden. It takes less than 5 minutes. But for some reason, it's so hard for some people to put this support in there.
Little bowl of stone.
Yep. Another thing you always want to check with your level is the left and right side of the stove, because you don't want the customer to go slide their stove in and one side of the stone sticks up 1 inch higher than the other. But like everything else on these cabinets, the cabinet guy's done a really good job. I mean, this isn't 100% perfect. There's just a little bit, but let me tell you, that's pretty close to perfect. I'm just so impressed with this cabinet guy. He did a great job. Okay, guys, the opening for a dishwasher is supposed to be 24 inches. We've got our bracket we put in there. This one, like the rest of the cabinets, is dead on the money how it's supposed to be. Here's our screws that we're going to put in there. Now, I like to drill a pilot hole for my screws. Some people don't. If they don't, and they don't take their time putting the screws in, they'll bust this wood here. Sometimes even if they do take their time, they'll bust the wood. And then you're going to have busted wood in your customer's new cabinets, and your screws aren't going to hold as good. It takes an extra minute to drill a pilot hole, guys. Give yourself a little pilot hole. Have 2 drills, one with your drill bit, one with your Phillips head. Alright, and you get the screws. Still don't want to take your time, but Snug that in. Snug that in. Snug that in. Snug that. Now your cabinets aren't cracked. Put your two little screws up in top. That way when they put their dishwasher in, they're ready to connect to their ears if they want to use it. Even if they get side mount, I always put them on in. That way, you know, if something happens and they switch dishwashers in the future, they're already set up.
There you go, you're done.
I also run a bead of silicone along the top of this bracket. The silicone is super strong. It's going to help it hold. Pay no attention to how nasty that bead I ran is. But we're going to clean it up right here in a second. I'm bleeding somehow. I have no idea why I'm bleeding. I guess I cut it on that dishwasher bracket. David sabotaged me. We just want to clean up our silicone a little bit. Could have sprayed it with alcohol, but then I would have noticed that burn a lot worse. So that's it, guys. Dishwasher bracket installed. Take a couple minutes. That's it. So, all right, when we clean, I do a two-step process, guys. I use this Extra Clean Pro for the quartz. It's made by 10X. And it leaves like a residue, so after I use that and get all the stuff off of it, then I do a secondary cleaning with denatured alcohol and get it perfectly clean. And then I will put either my nano stain protector on there, or I will put this shield by 10X on there. First step of the cleaning process is done. But you can, I don't know if you can see in the video, but it leaves a little residue on there. See it? But it got all the major spots, any dirt or any scuffs from like metal marks on corners or anything like that, it gets them off. So now we're going to do the secondary part with the denatured alcohol, and it'll get it perfect. Second step in the cleaning process is done. We went over it with denatured alcohol. I think you can see how much better it looks now. You don't have that residue or haze on it at all. You see the light's reflecting off of it well. So now we're going to use this here for the stain protector. Quartz shield. Another thing we do when we finish a job is we use a stainless steel cleaner to clean the sink, or if we touch the dishwasher or refrigerator, we'll go ahead and use this on it as well if it's stainless. This comes from Walmart, and let me tell you, it's the bomb. It's the best I've used, so don't be scared of it because it comes from Walmart. Kind of spray it all over it like that, and then I get my rags and start wiping. I like to use my thicker rags when I'm cleaning the tops or sealing the tops. And then I use the thinner paper towels if I'm wiping painter's caulk or silicone or something like that. These are a lot cheaper than these, but these are more absorbent and better for cleaning. But I don't think y'all need a lot of footage of me wiping on this, but I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. And this is what it looks like when she's clean. And I mean, this isn't necessary, and I don't think most places do it. But I try to look at it if it was my install or my mom's home or my grandmother's home or somebody I care about. I would want my sink to look like this when the people finish, rather than just being dirty and having fingerprints all over it, having drywall or stone dust in it. You know, it's just caring about your customer, taking pride in what you do. Okay, guys, we're finished. I just went over aftercare with the customers. This is by far the best job I've had all week. Everything went really well. Customers were super nice. just went over aftercare. Normally I get super nervous when going over that, so it wasn't even that bad for me this time. I personally see jobs all the time, and this one, it just turned out really well. I don't know if it's just because of the cabinets and the colors in the kitchen and the walls, but it just looks really good in my opinion. I kind of showed you guys a couple things. There wasn't a whole lot of problems or issues that we had to work through on this one. So there was plenty of that on the ones earlier in the week. So you should have your feel of that. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down there in the comments. And if you're nice, I'll answer them. And if not, if I do answer them, it's probably not going to be very nice. But I'll see you on the next one, guys.